WEFUNK. We funk.
For all of us. And now I guess it's happy times as all of us New York, New Jersey potheads, because I guess this is the first 420 ever where in both New York and New Jersey, marijuana legalized. It's fully legal to smoke. Wherever you can smoke a cigarette, you can go light it up, fucking smoke a bong right on Fifth Avenue on a 420 because it's fully legal.
Get a gas mask.
Thank God. I had one more time. If I got arrested one more time for weed, there was no way I wasn't going back to jail. I mean, I had exhausted every program and excuse and lawyer. They're like, thank God.
Well, that is one of the big things with the actual, legalization, the like not just the fun we all get to smoke weed side of it, but there has been like immediate expungement is underway where people are getting, their.
I would be so pumped. Imagine if you guys got released out of jail. Oh my God, that'd be the greatest thing.
I know, it'd be like
Jay after I got released out of jail.
It would be almost as bad as being in jail for smoking weed. Would be the.
I couldn't imagine that shit.
But I guess it's not going to be like for sale in the city for probably another year or two. But like fully able to possess up to 3 ounces as well. Is they're giving us a lot of leeway to fucking for recreational possession.
Stimulus checks there. They better send some more stimulus.
Isn't time for that 1,400. As well, you can get you get 24 grams of oil, different hash products. I guess the biggest difference. What's up?
That's what they should do. Give you a choice: the stimulus check or weed, and they just mail you weed. You know what I mean?
That's what we were saying on our one of our early episodes when they were doing the check. Instead of sending us an extra $300 a month, send everybody an ounce of weed every week in the whole country, and have everybody stay home during coronavirus, watching Netflix and not fucking bothering anybody. But nobody freaking out about a mask in the fucking store. Everybody's chill.
I mean, it's just it is interesting. You have to admit that they published the passing of the law with a menu. It's like, and here's a price list.
There was a link to the.
And it was within like a day of me getting my stimulus check. I got my stimulus check, and then they're like, "Weed's legal." I was like, "All right."
Dude, I used to
the cartels are in on this shit.
I used to tell all the audiences at the fundraisers that we were doing, you think you're having fun now? Wait till weed's legalized. You know what I mean? Like, wait till we're at a firehouse doing a function and we're drinking and smoking weed.
Yeah, for sure. You thought my comedy act was funny before? Wait till you're fucking...
We'll all be on the same wavelengths then, because the comics are usually the only ones stoned and a few audience members.
Yeah, seriously. I guess the biggest difference between New York and New Jersey in terms of their legalization policies is that in New York, actually I guess I'll say that in New Jersey, it's really the only, out of all the East Coast states, and I think maybe one of the only legal states in the whole country, but New Jersey is one of the only states to not let you grow at home as part of their legalization. So you have to buy weed from the state of New Jersey, technically, when everything is up and running. Whereas in New York, you can have up to 6 plants growing in your house. How about any of you guys? Have any of you guys ever tried growing weed?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
Well, give me the rundown. Any success, failures? All of my dopey pothead friends have failed.
I can send you pictures of the weed that I grew here in Brooklyn. I got somehow I just ended up with seeds, a couple of seeds from some awesome plants that I had. I just threw them in the dirt out here, and a couple of days later they were sprouting. So
wow, just that easy? Wing bang boom? Is this an outdoors space, or we
outdoors?
have? Yeah. Okay, wow.
Once they my buddy basically took care of them, but I watched after them also, and we moved them into a bigger thing, into separate.
And you knew how to tell the difference between you have to be a fucking full-on botanist to get high if you're growing your own shit though. You got to be curating specialty strains and know the different sexes of a plant. I didn't even know that plants had sexes until I thought about growing weed.
I don't know. It came out. I got high from it. My buddy dried it out in his closet. I don't know.
Nice.
It ended up, being
Worked
about.
Well. How about you guys? And Gordon, you said you tried as well.
I've tried a ton of times, and I actually almost got kicked out of school because at the high school library computers I looked up on my own computer account. I looked up how to grow and harvest big buds, and like they were sitting there. The dean was sitting there and was just reading it for like a minute. Like how to grow and harvest big buds. How to big buds.
They had you on that
Dateline
moment where they started reading your shit back to you. And you're like, have a brownie, Gordon. Does this sound familiar? You want to?
Yeah, I don't know how I got on this. I was looking at. I'm trying to grow flowers, tulips. I'm trying to grow tulips in my backyard.
How to grow big buds legally on campus.
Right, I had butts wrong.
Yeah, seriously. But I mean, isn't that what the internet is for fuck's sake? You're doing research, you know what I mean? I got in trouble for trying to go on like rotten.com or whatever the fuck. You're at least trying to.
The key, Gordon, I think that you miss is that you have to do it in the classroom with the teacher who's when your papers come back graded, they smell like weed.
Yeah.
You have to do that around the art teacher is probably your best chance of
You're right.
of googling marijuana, but. So did you yield any product from any of your grow-ups though?
So, here's the thing. So I germinated the seeds and everything, and then we would plant them, and then we would get to that. They get to be like yay high, and then they'd always just fucking die. We would just it's just needed.
And were you going inside? Were you trying to do this in a closet or
like, on our porch? And we had like the banana peels in there to make sure it was male. I think the banana peels is something to help it be male. I have no idea, but
it's in retrospect.
Especially trying to do all this shit before you could Google. You know what I mean? Like back in the day when I was in high school, like I had a friend that there was like a High Times article that he was trying to do all this shit based off of. You know what I mean? And you couldn't like readily just go and watch a YouTube tutorial on how to fucking grow. But I mean, germinating a plant, I'm out. I don't know. You've stumped me. I guess I'm stuck to buying a 20 bag because.
Yeah.
That's just fancy word for putting seeds in wet toilet paper.
That works.
Okay,
it works.
It's all in the marketing, I guess, but it's all.
Try that.
But so New York and New Jersey though are the latest of now, out of the 50 states, we're only at like fucking 15 to 20 though. Alaska, Arizona, Cali, Colorado, DC.
What a stoner you are, I think it's like 15, 20, whatever. It's not even.
and he can name them.
Yeah. I mean, count along at home, but Illinois, Maine, Massachusetts, Michigan, Montana, New York, New Jersey, New Mexico, no New Hampshire. What the fuck? Nevada, Oregon, Vermont, Washington State have all fully legalized. Conspicuous by his absence, anything fucking below Maryland, like the entire South, illegal. Texas, the Freedom State, illegal. New Hampshire, not legal. What the fuck's up with that? It's like the bordering Canada and Vermont, and somehow.
Die, huh?
What's up?
What happened there? Live free or die, you would think,
For real, exactly. And as well, Pennsylvania, those are kind of like the last East Coast states that,
Live free or high. That's what they should call it. Live free or high.
I mean,
it.
you would think, but so hopefully they all start joining the party soon. And as well, we need more like federal. It needs to be federally decriminalized on the federal level. But and I guess and trying to usher in all of this change and helping us celebrate as well this year. But have you guys heard about the Willie Nelson petition to Joe Biden? Where they're trying to get they're literally a full-on petition to Joe Biden under a campaign to officially make the week in between 4/20, April 20th, and April 29th, which is, of course, Willie Nelson's birthday, but officially make between 4/20 and 4/29 the high holidays with stuff focused on awareness and education, on destigmatization, decriminalization, legalization across the nation so we can be smoking for recreation on vacation. I added those last bunch, but all sorts of like marijuana advocacy shit going on, virtual concerts.
But and I think you could slip that one past Joe Biden.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, seriously. If you do the whole rhyming gag like me, I think we could get it past them. We fool them with the rhymes.
You need Biden's approval to do that. I think you could just do that.
Yeah.
But there's like a whole summit planned last year, dude. It was one of my whole highlights of coronavirus, but it was on like 420 or fucking Willie's birthday or whatever. But there was this whole marijuana, and it was like right when coronavirus started, and these Zoom-a-thons and like Zoom festivals were all very new, and people were figuring them out. And Willie Nelson did this whole like marijuana advocacy variety show with like comedians and musicians going on, but everybody was just super stoned and didn't know how to work on Zoom properly, and it was just the most fucked up thing. Willie Nelson literally tried to have a magician do Zoom, and like if magic is already kind of a tough thing to pull off, trying to pull off magic over Zoom to Willie Nelson on 420 was like such a clusterfuck.
I've maintained for a long time that people hardest hit in the artists community during this pandemic are people that perform close-up magic.
Yeah, seriously. Your tableside magicians are taking a fucking bath right now. But
be tough being a mime also, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't have it going great before, to be perfectly honest. It's not like,
like now you've got to buy double the masks.
I kind of actually disagree. I think that the only way that the mime is going to make a comeback is if the whole world starts smoking fucking like massive amount of marijuana. The only way a mime is entertaining is if you're fucking stoned off your balls, I got to feel, but...
Dude, they have a guy that would come out of Wendy's by my house once a week, and he'd dress up and do a kid's show. I just looked at this guy and was like, what went wrong in this guy's life? Like he's like dressed in this red, white, like just out there with he's got the Crocs on and just making balloons for kids. And I'm like, look at this guy. I mean, he's working. I'll give him that. He's working, but like,
you're all stoned out of Wendy's, looking down your nose at this guy. You're like,
at 2 o'clock.
You're supposed to be getting high and eating bacon cheeseburgers, you idiot, not fucking performing magic.
Listen,
you got this gig all wrong, fucker.
When you're at like a children's birthday party, the only person you're ever going to be able to bum a cigarette from is the clown. That's the only
Yeah.
That guy also brought whiskey.
Meeting him on the front side of the house where nobody.
I'm just like, look at this, man.
But honestly, all sorts of marijuana-related issues and awareness that guys like Willie Nelson do help bring to the forefront and help all of this movement of legalization go on through with just like the like I did say, the destigmatization or whatever the fuck the word is of the of marijuana. But like that's one of the things where it's like it was labeled a drug for like racist, crazy reasons back in the 40s by that bastard fucking Harry Anslinger. Did any of you guys see U.S. vs. Billie Holiday?
No.
The movie?
I saw Reefer Madness, though.
Okay. Have you ever got stoned and watched Reefer Madness?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Oh, so here, I have a story, though. So, like, I remember back in the day, this has got to be late 90s, there was a big pro-marijuana legalization protest and thing going on in New York. And there was this whole big parade of people walking down Fifth Avenue. They ended up down in Washington Square Park, and there was like a rally down there. And they had all these speakers about the legalization of marijuana, and they were all carrying these. This is 20 years ago, and they're all carrying these signs that say, it's like the number of the
drunk driving and stuff kills versus weed deaths.
Yeah, those kinds of signs, and
incarceration stats and shit.
Vote yes on this thing, whatever the number was. Proposition this. But the thing that they were chanting as they walked down was, what do we want? Pot. When do we want it? Now. And then it was, but the other thing that they were chanting that I thought
then we want pizza.
What do we want next?
We want pot and we want it a lot.
We want pot.
Nice,
we want it a lot.
So, like, as funny as that is, that's the truth. The truth of the matter is that like that is the kind of thing that helps fuel like a really mixed messaging. Like, you have, if you're going to go like for the medical and the right now the fact that it's recreational, it's even like 20 years later now it's like fuck it, I don't that makes sense. The shit
there was a while where you like had to try to pretend like there was exclusively great medical benefits to doing it. Now we can at least act like, hey, I just like getting high. You know what I mean? It turns out I don't have glaucoma.
Exactly.
I just want to fucking smoke weed on a Saturday. But
Big F! WEFUNK. We funk.